Okay, Inner City Press. We're leaving the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, October 20th, 2020. We've covered well more than 10 cases out here on Worth Street. Serious road work going on. It's been going on for quite a while, many years. But in the court today, we covered, actually a case we've covered a long time, Natalie Edwards, the Manafort suspicious activities report leaker of quite a few, actually more than 2,000 suspicious activity reports. She wrote to Judge Woods, who's a fine judge, very hardworking, but then sought to withdraw the letters. Now, she's also written to Congress about a number of things. So, news people that we are, we sought to make sure that the filings with the court, which gave rise to a court hearing, were docketed and unsealed. But today, a ruling saying they're not judicial documents, that although some might want to see this cri de coeur, well, you can read the decision. We put it on DocumentCould. We respect Judge Woods, but this is a decision that needs to be appealed. Simply to know what the law of judicial documents is, in fact. Could this be Inner City Press, School of Law? No. Everything is bagged, and we will not violate. Oh, no, it's not. Yes, Inner City Press, School of Law. What is... Let's see. Test. Okay, they're all the same day, no problem. Let's find one that's dry. It's quite a wet period of time here. Here, we won't violate even these rubber bands. All we need is a copy of the New York Law Journal. And on that note, yes, we're back. Inner City Press, School of Law. Okay, so what is a public document? Let's turn it around. What is a public document? What is a judicial document? It's a very arcane school of law. Judge Woods has said he committed, after the fact, mind you, it seems to me, again, with all due respect, respectfully, after the fact he committed not to consider the letters. But of course he did, because it was the letters that triggered a hearing. I'm sorry, call me simplistic. I believe that if a filing to a court results in a court's action, that the filing is a judicial document. It can't be cleansed after the fact. Now, reasonable minds can disagree, clearly. And again, I want to emphasize, Judge Woods is one of the hardest working judges. He does initial conferences in civil cases of almost no import that take more than an hour, and he constantly instructs the lawyers about their duties to meet discovery deadlines, and so long live the law. But this is a decision that needs to be appealed. Now, because we're getting controversial, let me say this. Because the law is, of course, not politically correct. Yesterday, in the case Eckhart versus Fox News, Ed Henry, Tucker Carlson et al., which we'd reported on earlier. In this case, Ed Henry filed a motion to dismiss. And attached to his motion to dismiss, as attachments to a declaration of one of his lawyers, were a number of photographs. Now, it was his contention that if Ms. Eckhart was suing him for sexual harassment, it was relevant that she had sent him a number of naked photographs of herself. Now, as filed, these photographs had redactions, pasties, so to speak. This was a public court filing. Inner City Press first wrote a story about it and ultimately tweeted out two of the exhibits. Now, today we fell under fire. Some said it was terrible, what a terrible thing. And my point is this. When things are filed in court, not just, then they say, well, that's legal, but it's unethical. It's not just that it's legal but unethical. People have a right to know what happens in the courts, for better and worse. My point is this. This is the thing people don't understand. If you disagree, then you also have a right to know it was filed. Nothing is gained by covering things up. Now, others disagree. Apparently, the mainstream media believes that it's a good thing to cover up the Hunter Biden emails. Let's say they say they're false. Prove that they're false. Let's say that they say that Rudy Giuliani is an over-the-hill Russian pawn. Make the argument. But to just ignore something that's newsworthy is censorship. This is my view. So it was with Ed Henry. Now, the funny thing is that I published 2 of the photographs and then I stopped. I have more of them. But I said, my point wasn't to be salacious. My point was to say these things were filed. Make up your mind whether this scorched earth defense to a sexual harassment case is a good one or a bad one. But today, as I came into work on other cases, I was informed by another journalist, hat tip, that those photographs were now sealed. Now, I may have misunderstood it. I thought the person was saying, like, go, go, go. Maybe he was saying it should never have been published. I don't know. I mean, I literally don't know. And it turns out that later this evening, the lawyer for Miss Eckhart, it finally went into the docket that they had made an emergency application to the ECF help desk. ECF is the electronic court filing. It's basically PACER. Without even a judge, they'd gotten some ECF help desk, some unnamed, unknowable bureaucrat to seal a court file. Now, that's extraordinary. I didn't know it was possible. I thought only a judge could seal a court file, but apparently that's not the case. Apparently, ECF help desk, whoever that is, can seal it. And so now it's pending in front of a judge, Judge Ronnie Abrams. I'm sorry to say that the daughter of a noted First Amendment lawyer, Floyd Abrams. And she's a great judge. Maybe she'll uphold it, and that's fine. But it should be a judge to seal a court file. I'm not sure that an unnamed ECF help desk should have the ability to seal a filing. I'm troubled by that. So anyway, we've written that story, and you can find that online. And this is the Inner City Press School of Law. I'm going to leave it right there because there's always more, and there will be more. To be continued.